In ancient times, one evening amidst a thunderstorm, Shen Li, the Blue King of Heaven, defied the Spirit Master to escape an unwanted marriage. Despite the efforts of many heavenly guards to capture her, Shen Li created a hole in the heavens and fled. Seeing Shen Li struggling, Mo Fang devised a plan, injuring himself to ensure Shen Li's safe escape. The heavenly pursuers misunderstood the situation, thinking Mo Fang had killed Shen Li, and assumed that Shen Li's descent to the mortal realm would bring misfortune. In Qingsheng City, the heavenly pursuers tracked Shen Li based on where she landed. Injured and weakened, Shen Li, a distressed phoenix, was in dire straits. A rude farmer captured her. The next morning, Xingyun went to the market and saw Shen Li for sale in a bamboo basket. He bought Shen Li and took her home. Stripped of his spiritual powers and mistaken for a pheasant, Shen Li endured various indignities. Xingyun forced her to bathe in a pond and eat pastries, which, despite initial reluctance, Shen Li found tolerable. Xingyun called Shen Li, Ke-Da, and instructed her to look after the house in his absence. Shen Li attempted to escape but was thwarted by a little thief entering the house. The thief, a snail girl, planned to cook Shen Li, tying her up in preparation. Xingyun returned just in time to save Shen Li. After warning the snail girl not to return, Xingyun returned to his tasks, and Shen Li grudgingly stayed, realizing Xingyun was quite dull. Shen Li decided to flee but couldn't fly due to her weakened state. Xingyun offered food, and Shen Li, unable to resist, stayed for the meal. Over time, Shen Li and Xingyun settled into a peaceful routine. One night, seeing Shen Li asleep, Xingyun gently blocked the moonlight to ensure her comfort. Eventually, Shen Li attempted to escape again. But this time she was captured and nearly cooked by locals who mistook her for an exotic pheasant. Drenched by a sudden rain, Shen Li was overwhelmed with frustration, thinking about the forced marriage awaiting her in heaven. Just then, Xingyun appeared with an umbrella, shielding Shen Li from the rain. Xingyun has shown unexpected kindness and brought Shen Li back home once more. Shen Li returned to the courtyard and noticed that her wounds seemed to heal faster there. Xingyun fed her regularly and could understand her say. One day, Xingyun brought her homemade osmanthus cakes. But Shen Li had grown tired of them. She suggested buying some meat to improve her meals. Xingyun, with a calm demeanor, explained that he was short of money and that he still needed to trade the cleaned ginseng for medicinal herbs at the pharmacy. Hearing this, Shen Li felt sympathy. Since her benefactor was short on money, she decided to repay his kindness. Late at night, under the moonlight, Shen Li tried to use her magic to turn stones into gold. She made several attempts, pecking at the stones with her beak, but without success. Exhausted, she eventually collapsed and fell asleep. The next morning, Xingyun decided to spend some money on meat. As he prepared to leave, Shen Li noticed he wasn't carrying his usual bamboo basket and reminded him to bring it. Xingyun explained that he was going to the market, and since Shen Li was bored, he took her along. At the market, Shen Li couldn't resist the sight of fresh, succulent pork. Xingyun checked his pockets and found he didn't have enough money. To improve their situation, he took over a fortune-teller's business and provided a remarkably accurate reading, earning 2 pieces of meat and winning a 10-coin bet, a double win. After the delicious meal, Shen Li began to admire Xingyun's talents. She asked why he, with such skills, spent his time digging for ginseng in the mountains. Xingyun confessed that although he had some special insights from a young age, fortune-telling wasn't a respectable profession, and he was content with his simple life. Shen Li was astonished by Xingyun's choice, wondering why a mortal wouldn't pursue a more prosperous life. The following morning, as Xingyun opened the door, he heard urgent knocking. A peasant woman, excited and anxious, grabbed his sleeve and asked if he was the accurate fortune-teller from the day before. She begged him to divine the whereabouts of her husband, who had gone off to war. Shen Li realized that the woman's husband was in danger but knew that Xingyun couldn't reveal his whereabouts directly. Despite being moved, Xingyun insisted he couldn't locate the woman's husband. Watching the woman leave in despair, Shen Li felt a bit angry at Xingyun for not saying more. Perhaps Xingyun had discerned the truth but refrained from speaking for some reason. Late at night, Shen Li quietly went to the peasant woman's home, with Xingyun following discreetly. In the woman's cold, small house, Shen Li sensed an unusual aura from the woman's husband. 15 years earlier, The man had died heroically in battle and ascended to the celestial realm. However, unwilling to leave his wife, he had stayed by her side, protecting her silently. The woman, unaware of this, had been grieving for years. Xingyun used magic to reveal the husband's presence, reuniting him with his wife. Seeing the couple embrace and weep, Shen Li was deeply moved. She knew that mortals and immortals were not meant to be together. The husband's prolonged presence was draining his wife's vitality. Xingyun instructed Shen Li to quickly inform them that the spell wouldn't last long, urging them to make their choice. She learned that her husband had been with her for over 10 years. The man, teary-eyed, remained silent. However, from Xingyun's words, they learned that if the husband continued to stay, it would shorten the woman's lifespan. The man immediately decided not to disturb his beloved any longer. Shen Li nodded, saying she could help him fulfill his wish. After deeply kissing his wife, the man resolutely declared that he would leave. Shen Li performed a spell to help the man return to Wangchuan, then helped the farmwoman up, advising her to live well because the man had always loved her and wanted her to live a better life. As Shen Li and Xingyun walked back, Xingyun noticed that Shen Li was no longer her usual lively and noisy self, guessing she was still affected by the recent events. He comforted her by saying, "The past is an illusion. Only the future is real life," encouraging her to cherish the present. Just as Shen Li's mood began to improve, Xingyun accidentally slipped and fell into the water. Shen Li, unable to ignore it, immediately jumped in to save him. Xingyun expected Shen Li to gently lift him from the water, but instead, she grabbed him by the hair and dragged him out, even pulling out a tuft of his hair in the process. Seeing that Xingyun was unharmed, Shen Li got up to leave, but Xingyun quickly transformed her into a phoenix, indicating she had not fully recovered yet. So, Shen Li had no choice but to follow Xingyun back home again. The scene of Xingyun turning Shen Li from a beauty into a bird was witnessed by the farmwoman's brother. Greedy for wealth, he hurried to report Shen Li's various magical abilities to the local authorities, claiming to have seen everything with his own eyes. To investigate, the city lord immediately sent people to bring Xingyun in for questioning. When a large group of armed guards arrived at the door, Xingyun knew they had ill intentions. He immediately set up an array, transforming Shen Li back to her original form, and then beat the guards so badly they wished they could flee underground. Shen Li realized that Xingyun had been toying with her all along. From the very first night, she had revealed her true form, but Xingyun had suppressed her and even saw her drenched like a wet chicken. What a humiliation. In her anger, Shen Li struck Xingyun with her palm, only to see the supposedly robust Xingyun fall weakly to the ground, claiming she had broken his arm, having just driven away a group of villains. Shen Li felt it was inappropriate that she had now injured her benefactor's arm. Hesitant, she decided to stay a while longer until Xingyun's arm healed. This was exactly what Xingyun wanted, and he quickly nodded in agreement. Shen Li curiously lifted his chin, wondering how a man could be so good at acting helpless. Xingyun mischievously smiled, saying that although Shen Li was a woman, she was strong and sunny, making them perfectly complementary. Seeing Xingyun's fawning face, Shen Li grew increasingly suspicious of his identity. Xingyun was proficient in arrays, could predict the future, and lived a carefree life yet never missed a meal. He could understand bird language and saw through her true form, completely different from ordinary people. She decided she must find out his background, suspecting he might be a celestial guard sent to track her. In the prince's mansion of Qingsheng City, the prince learned from his servants that Xingyun possessed great magical powers, and the maid by his side could break their bronze tokens with her bare hands. Naturally, he dared not underestimate them and immediately abandoned any thoughts of capturing them. Since Shen Li descended to the mortal world, Mo Fang had followed closely behind, but after searching for a long time, he still couldn't find her. Shen Li couldn't figure out Xingyun's identity, so she decided to snoop through his notes while he was asleep. She found mostly records of weather changes and plant growth, thinking him a rather boring person. Just as she was about to put the notebook down, she noticed Xingyun sitting right across from her. Having caught her in the act, it was quite an embarrassing moment. Shen Li pretended to be calm, claiming she was just putting a leaf back into the book. Shen Li still hadn't figured out Xingyun's true identity but felt he was also a pitiable person. He had no stable income, spending his days painting, enjoying the moon, and occasionally daydreaming. Shen Li decided to stay until his health fully recovered before leaving. She began learning to cook. Surprisingly, Xingyun often acted as if he owned the place, casually instructing Shen Li to cook and add firewood. Sometimes, Shen Li would impatiently remind him that she wasn't his servant. However, when Xingyun would gently call her for meals, Shen Li, dinner is ready, the tenderness in his voice moved her. She had always been addressed as my lord, consulted on military matters or healing, but now, someone was calling her to eat, making her feel delicate and cared for. The young master of the city finally couldn't hold back his impatience and urgently wanted a divination to see if he had a chance to become the city lord. He barged into Xingyun's courtyard with a group of guards, demanding a reading. Xingyun, having seen many such scenes, refused to comply. The young master began to use force, and Shen Li, hearing the commotion inside, came out and gave the young master and his lackeys a thorough beating. The young master fled in panic with his entourage, and the courtyard fell silent again. Shen Li turned to see Xingyun sitting there like a bullied child, covering his eyes with a cloth because the young master had splashed hot water on him, scalding his eyes. Shen Li was puzzled by how such a frail man could remain so calm in the face of a bully. That evening, Xingyun was fanning the medicine while Shen Li noticed the scars on her hands from daily chores. Xingyun, feeling inexplicably sorry for her, insisted on applying some ointment to her wounds. It was the first time a man had shown such concern for her, and Shen Li felt quite touched. The young master, having gained nothing, immediately ordered his men to summon Fusong. Upon hearing the details, Fusong reassured him not to worry, promising that they would soon make the Taoist suffer. Knowing that life would not be easy after the conflict with the young master, Xingyun decided to seek help from someone else and took Shen Li to the Jinyu Manor at dawn. The young master, whose real name was Jiyu Chengrei, was arrogant and overbearing since childhood, spoiled by his father after his mother's death. His younger brother is Jiyu Chengjin, more stable in temperament. With the position of young city lord still undecided, both factions were eager to take power. Xingyun seized this opportunity to seek Jiyu Chengjin as a patron. At the Jinyu Manor, Shen Li discovered a lotus demon, a stunningly beautiful creature. Shen Li initially intended to capture her, but seeing how much Jiyu Chengjin valued the demon, even personally picking her up when her dress was damaged, she refrained. Xingyun, noticing Shen Li's interest in Jiyu Chengjin, jealously warned her not to develop feelings for him. During the negotiation, it seemed Jiyu Chengjin had already trusted Xingyun. As they left, Xingyun proudly shook his money bag, excitedly proclaiming they wouldn't have to worry about meat for a long time. Xingyun's braised pork was delicious, but Shen Li knew it was time for her to leave. Staying in the mortal world would only bring trouble to Xingyun, as those from the heavenly realm were still searching for her and would likely find them soon. The lotus spirit once helped Jiyu Chengjin clean his room and accidentally triggered a mechanism that opened a secret chamber. Curious, she entered and found a woman lying on the bed looking strikingly similar. A demon-like figure laughed and revealed that this woman was the one Jiyu Chengjin truly loved, showing the lotus spirit stories of their past together. Late at night, a group of men in black stormed into Shen Li's courtyard. Fortunately, Xingyun had prepared in advance, and those who fell into the courtyard were trapped and tortured by an array. Their screams echoed as Xingyun calmly sipped tea inside. Shen Li, hearing the noise, stepped outside and saw the array at work. She accidentally stepped into it, becoming disoriented, but Xingyun arrived just in time to help her regain her senses. Unwilling to admit defeat, Jiyu Chengrui's men shot flaming arrows into the courtyard, trying to burn it down. With Shen Li's protection, Xingyun was unharmed, but the assassins trapped in the array suffered greatly. Shen Li, not wanting the courtyard to be tainted with blood, flew into the air and used an array to extinguish the flames. She then threw the assassins out of the courtyard, finally forcing them to retreat. Shen Li's use of the array exposed her location to the spiritual realm. In the palace, Shen Li's mother immediately dispatched people to find her based on the newly revealed location. Realizing they couldn't stay in the courtyard any longer, Shen Li took Xingyun to Jiyu Chengjin's mansion. She saw many incomplete spirits were kept there, visible as little glowing dots in the yard. Xingyun, being a mortal, couldn't see them. Shen Li warned Xingyun to be careful. But he naively thought she was scared and sweetly tried to hold her hand. Seeing Xingyun's innocent face, Shen Li realized he genuinely saw her as a woman. Enjoying this feeling, Shen Li moved closer to Xingyun and confessed under the moonlight that she might be falling for him. Xingyun remained calm, which made Shen Li uncomfortable. Suddenly, something unusual happened in the mansion. The spirits began to turn against their master, and women screamed throughout the courtyard. Shen Li told Xingyun to stay close to her and headed toward the source of the miasma. There, she found Xiao He, Shi Yin, and Ji Yu Chengjin. Xiao He discovered she had been kept by Ji Yu Chengjin to exchange her life for Shi Yin's. Xiao He threw the mansion into chaos, and Shen Li tried to maintain control, hoping to persuade the Lotus Spirit to mend her ways. If the spirit continued to darken, Shen Li would have to eliminate her. While saving innocent mortals in the mansion, Shen Li encountered Mo Fang, who had found her first. He urged her to leave quickly, warning that the spiritual realm's soldiers would arrive soon. Shen Li glanced back at Xingyun and told Mo Fang that she had fallen for a mortal and wanted to stay a few more days. In the heavenly realm, one day equaled a year on Earth. Knowing Xingyun's frail condition, Shen Li asked Mo Fang to delay the spiritual realm's soldiers. Loyal to her, Mo Fang agreed. Xingyun suggested that Xiao He might be hiding in the Lotus Pond. Knowing Shen Li planned to capture the spirit, Xingyun gifted her a hairpin made from a sleeve arrow. Shen Li called out the Lotus Spirit from the pond, and after several spankings, the spirit finally admitted her mistakes. She regretted causing harm to others because of Ji Yu Chengjin. Originally, Shen Li had planned to eliminate the spirit if she didn't repent. But now there was no need for such drastic measures. The Lotus Spirit, with tears streaming down her face, still wants to see Ji Yu Chengjin one last time, even though she knows he is only using her as a medicinal ingredient to save someone else. Shen Li tries to persuade her several times without success. Eventually, she agrees to let the Lotus Spirit see Ji Yu Chengjin once more and also to see the woman she was so jealous of. Shen Li makes the Lotus Spirit invisible and tells Ji Yu Chengjin that the Lotus Spirit is dead and that he should leave quickly. Ji Yu Chengjin refuses to leave because the woman he loves is here, and he wants to die together with her if necessary. Hearing this, the Lotus Spirit is utterly devastated. In a moment of impulse, she grabs Ji Yu Chengjin by the neck but can't bear to hurt him. The man she fell in love with at first sight. In the end, she sacrifices herself for her beloved. Shi Yin wakes up, and Ji Yu Chengjin realizes that the Lotus Spirit made this possible. Xing Yun, who was just invaded by toxic miasma, has his wrist corroded and bruised. Shen Li takes him back to Jin Yu's mansion and heals him with her powers. Seeing Xing Yun temporarily improving, Shen Li cannot stay long, as the pursuers from the spirit realm are relentlessly searching for her. If a battle breaks out near Xing Yun, his weak body won't be able to withstand it. The pursuers from the spirit realm soon arrive in great numbers. Mo Fang tries to delay them while Shen Li follows closely. She summons the local land deities to quickly save Xing Yun in Jin Yu Mansion. Shen Li instructs the land deities to find the man in blue under the pavilion and to save him quickly. Unexpectedly, two unwelcome guests interrupt midway, Qing Yan and Kai Rong, both notorious troublemakers. They tell the land deities to deliver a message to Shen Li. If she doesn't come quickly, they will take Xing Yun hostage and can't guarantee his safety. With Xing Yun still in danger, Shen Li has no choice but to fly back to rescue him. Shen Li reaches Xing Yun, and Kai Rong and Qing Yan convey an edict from Shen Li's mother, urging her to return to her marriage. If she doesn't, they will force her back to the spirit realm even if it means breaking her limbs. Shen Li looks up to see the sky filled with pursuers, densely packed like ants. To protect Xing Yun, she cuts her palm and creates a strong barrier with her blood, shielding him within. Shen Li's mother is furious, accusing Shen Li of harming her clan and asking if she knows her crime. Shen Li responds calmly, stating that their spirit realm has been subordinate to the celestial realm for tens of thousands of years. Now, even her marriage is dictated by the celestial realm, and they are forced to guard the celestial realm's demons and monsters. Although Shen Li's words are true, her mother cannot accept them. She orders two celestial soldiers to immediately take the princess away. Hearing their conversation, Xing Yun finally realizes that Shen Li is a princess. Shen Li turns back to Xing Yun, helps him up, and gives him a heartfelt kiss. She tells him that she is being forced into marriage and that they may never meet again. She hopes he will live well. After speaking, she leaves. Watching Shen Li's graceful figure disappear, Xing Yun is filled with sorrow. Before Shen Li ascends to the heavens, she infuses some of her spiritual power into Xing Yun, hoping it will help him overcome his challenges. Upon returning to her mother, she is reprimanded for sacrificing 500 years of her cultivation for a mortal. Her mother argues that Xing Yun might not even remember her in 10 years. Shen Li remains resolute and asserts that she is willing to do so. 500 years of power is a small price for love. In the days that follow, Xing Yun lives in a small courtyard, surviving on memories of Shen Li. Regardless of the season, he stands in the courtyard reminiscing about her until he becomes an old man. Even in his last days, he walks with difficulty to the small river Shen Li loved, hoping to feel her presence. Finally, Shen Li's mother lifts her restrictions, and Shen Li steps out after being confined for 30 days. Mo Fang confirmed that Xing Yun is no longer in the mortal world. The mansion is newly decorated, and a celestial servant prepares a table full of dishes for Shen Li. Before descending to the mortal world, Shen Li always had a good appetite, but now she finds the food tasteless. In the celestial realm, many gods welcome the return of Xingzi. During his tribulation in the mortal world, his journey was kept secret, and everyone thought he was traveling for leisure. However, upon his return, he is even more silent than before. Xingzi bids farewell to his many attendants and goes alone to Qinji Terrace to pay tribute to his fallen friends. Farong Jun, known for his mischievous nature, is terrified upon learning he is to marry the valiant King Baikao. King Baikao's formidable spiritual power is well known in the celestial realm. Accustomed to a life of debauchery, Farong Jun is scared at the prospect of marrying such a war hero and rushes to Xingzi's residence, begging him to rescind the order and cancel the marriage. Xingzi suddenly recalls that when Tianming Xingjun brought the marriage book to him, asking him to designate a match, he had casually picked a number, unaware that it was Farong Jun's. This random act led to the current marriage arrangement. Xingzi helps the kneeling Farong up and agrees to postpone the engagement, suggesting they get to know each other first before making any decisions. Recently, there has been turmoil in the Zushan Abyss, where miasma has brought suffering to the people. Shen Li was entrusted with the urgent task of dispersing the miasma, which she accomplished quickly. However, long-term peace requires the power of the celestial realm to protect the spirit realm's inhabitants. Shen Li's master is thinking of the greater good, which Shen Li understands. But she still finds Xingzi's hasty matchmaking to be overly reckless. The miasma in the Zushan Abyss is getting more and more serious day by day. Shen Li receives orders and sends a few trusted subordinates to control the situation. Zixia Shenjun is burned by the demon and falls to the celestial realm, dying on impact. The borders are frequently in danger, and Shen Li volunteers to fight, but her master refuses her request, instead assigning other capable generals to take over Zixia's duties. Unable to reason with her master, Shen Li angrily returns to her mansion, locks the door, and announces a retreat, but secretly heads to Zushan Abyss to eliminate the demon and avenge Zixia Shenjun. Her master hears of this but does not send anyone to pursue her. With King Baikao's assistance, the morale of the spirit tribe soared. A fierce battle ensues with the big demon. Shen Li battles the demon multiple times without gaining the upper hand. Realizing the urgency, she orders her subordinates to form a battle array. A powerful tornado forms, leaving nothing in its path. The demon charges through Shen Li's barrier and lunges at her. Seeing Shen Li in danger, Mo Fang shields her with his body, taking the demon's sharp teeth in his chest. Severely injured, Mo Fang is supported by Shen Li. The demon opens its bloody maw and swallows Shen Li whole, leaving the spirit realm's people in panic. Just as they despair, Shen Li pierces through the demon's belly with victorious. In its last moments, the demon sees Xingzi and realizes who defeated it. Shen Li, gravely injured and sees a vision of Xing Yun. She, unsure if it is reality or a dream, staggers towards him, mumbling about missing his cooking. Xingzi picks her up and demands to know the spirit tribe's military camp's location, insisting on personally taking Shen Li there. The spirit tribe's subordinates, uneasy, mention Shen Li's engagement and the impropriety of such contact with another man. Unfazed, Xingzi introduces himself and carries the unconscious Shen Li to the camp. The soldiers, recognizing Xingzi as a celestial deity, stand in awe. Mo Fang, having met Xing Yun before, feels a sense of crisis seeing Xingzi's familiar face, realizing he is a formidable rival. When Shen Li awakens, Mo Fang confesses his feelings, recalling their many battles together and his view of her beyond just a general. Shen Li, after a moment of thought, sternly warns him against harboring such thoughts and forbids him from mentioning it again. She is shattering his hopes and reaffirming his role as a soldier. Hearing footsteps, Shen Li looks up and sees a bright light resembling Xing Yun, bringing tears to her eyes. Although she knows Xing Yun has passed, she hopefully asks Xingzi if he has seen Xing Yun. Xingzi calmly replies that he has not. A guard informs Shen Li that Xingzi will stay to help seal the miasma and reinforce the spirit realm's barriers. Xingzi checks Shen Li's pulse, and she scrutinizes him, finding the resemblance to Xing Yun peculiar. Xingzi, an ancient war deity, seeks a guide. The guards, noting Shen Li's severe injuries, suggest she is unfit for the task. Mo Fang volunteers, but Xingzi insists on Shen Li, promising to restore her power within 3 days. Under Xingzi's meticulous care, Shen Li recovers quickly. That afternoon, Shen Li takes Xingzi to Zushan Abyss to inspect the seals. The rugged path is difficult to traverse, but Shen Li moves swiftly and gracefully. In contrast, Xingzi, dressed in celestial robes with flowing sleeves, moves slowly. Shen Li can't help but comment that he moves like an old ox pulling a broken cart. On their way, they encounter a wild boar infected by miasma. Normally, wild boars are very respectful to their masters. Xingzi suggests burning it to prevent future trouble. But Shen Li, unwilling to harm the creature, kicks it away to release it. Although Shen Li has always resented the celestial realm, she is deeply impressed when Xingzi revives a 1,000-year-old dead spirit tree with a wave of his hand, making the surrounding withered grass green again. The spirit realm soldiers are amazed to see the moon finally break through the haze and shine brightly, illuminating the land with a peaceful glow. They are full of admiration for the celestial deity's power. Mo Fang, noticing the vast difference between himself and Xingzi, feels inadequate. Xingzi not only revives the ancient tree of the Zushan Abyss but also picks a fresh leaf and gives it to Shen Li, inviting her to climb the tree and view the moon. Shen Li, who has never seen the Zushan Abyss from such a height, is captivated by the serene beauty of the full moon and the silence of the night. Xingzi then plays a melody on the leaf, producing a clear and melodious sound. While Shen Li and Xingzi are away, Mo Fang waits anxiously at the camp. His comrades are aware of his feelings and ask him what he likes about Shen Li. Mo Fang says he loves everything about her and is willing to do anything for her. When Shen Li and Xingzi return, Mo Fang is relieved to see her safe and sound. Shen Li asks about Mo Fang's recovery from his injuries and, remembering his confession, tries to keep some distance from him. Mo Fang, noticing her hesitation, assures her that his feelings won't interfere with their missions. The Spirit Lord, worried about Shen Li's prolonged stay in the Zushan Abyss, conducts a divination, and feels something is amiss. The Spirit Lord uses the shadow technique to see for himself. When she sees Xingzi standing beside Shen Li, she is shocked. Xingzi and Xing Yun are the same people, but Shen Li is unaware. The Spirit Lord urges Shen Li to return to the spirit realm immediately. Shen Li is concerned that the seals are not fully reinforced, so she hesitates to leave. Xingzi advises against her departure. Reluctantly, the Spirit Lord insists that Shen Li finish reinforcing the seals and return as soon as possible. Xingzi took Shen Li to the riverbed to check the seals he had placed there before. Despite Shen Li's poor swimming skills, Xingzi insisted on taking her underwater. At the riverbed, Xingzi awakened the spirit beasts on duty. In just a moment, the water, previously murky and lifeless, became crystal clear. As Shen Li watched Xingzi's focused expression during his spellcasting, she couldn't help but notice his striking resemblance to Xingyun. However, she kept reminding herself that Xingyun had died, and the person before her was an immortal deity. After clearing the miasma from both the land and water of the Zushan Abyss, Xingzi showed Shen Li where to hide the talisman used for sealing the miasma. He explained that bringing her to the ancient sacred tree and underwater was partly to help her heal and also to calm her mind. The previous miasma invasion hadn't been fully purged from her body, causing her to occasionally lose control. Understanding this, Shen Li felt a bit touched and looked at Xingzi seriously, yet her heart kept reminding her that this person wasn't Xingyun. Xingzi suggested that for the next few days, Shen Li didn't need to guide him as he could reinforce the seals himself. Back in her room, Shen Li lay on her bed, lost in thought. She missed Xingyun the most at this moment and unconsciously headed to the entrance to the mortal realm, hoping to see Xingyun again. Perhaps due to her unique constitution, every time she approached the most miasma-infested areas, she felt increasingly uneasy. This time, she was engulfed by a powerful malevolent force. She struggling to maintain clarity to avoid being sucked into a black hole. While she was losing control, Xingzi appeared in a burst of light, striding toward her. He dispelled the miasma around Shen Li and returned her weapon. Shen Li was puzzled by Xingzi's presence and his vague explanation that he was just familiarizing himself with the area due to the overwhelming miasma didn't satisfy her. She asked if his divine consciousness ever entered the mortal realm while he rested. Xingzi, knowing what she was hinting at, gave a non-committal response, maybe. Meanwhile, in the celestial realm, Fu Rongjun was enjoying a flower bath when his servant rushed in, reporting that Shen Li had killed the demon, first being swallowed by it and then emerging, covered in blood. Looking fierce and terrifying, Fu Rongjun turned pale with fear. Having been pampered all his life and being physically weak, he couldn't imagine marrying such a fierce and battle-hardened woman. The impending wedding terrified him, especially with the celestial realm's encouragement to visit the spirit realm to foster a relationship with Shen Li. Fu Rongjun couldn't bear it anymore and hurried to his grandfather, hoping to cancel the engagement. Furong had never met Shen Li in person but often heard tales of her bravery, venturing alone into dangerous lands, described as burly and bold, valiantly slaying demons. The more he thought about it, the more terrified he became. Furong always preferred ease over hardship and couldn't even bear to kill a chicken, couldn't imagine marrying such a fierce woman. His friends suggested a plan. Go to the spirit realm and leave a bad impression on Shen Li, hoping she would back out. This idea enlightened Furong, and he immediately packed his bags to visit the spirit realm. Shen Li and Xingzi were still in the Zushan abyss, expelling demons. Over 5 days, Xingzi led her through every corner of the abyss. Shen Li witnessed Xingzi's divine powers, marveling at how effortlessly he handled tasks that usually drained her. After purifying the Zushan abyss, Xingzi took Shen Li back to the spirit realm. The inhabitants welcomed her triumphantly. For the first time, Xingzi felt the warmth of the spirit realm. Someone placed a delicate flower crown on Shen Li. In the spirit realm, Xingzi asked the spirit sovereign to stay for a few days. The spirit sovereign was surprised and hesitated, fearing that their customs might be too rough for him, but Xingzi insisted he was comfortable. Since Xingzi had helped purify the miasma, the spirit sovereign couldn't refuse. Xingzi then requested to stay at the Baikansi king's residence. The spirit sovereign suggested Xingzi rest first and then privately spoke with Shen Li. The spirit sovereign's servant, who had once been sent to capture Shen Li, was shocked by Xingzi's resemblance to Xingyun. This led to hushed conversations and cautious behavior around Xingzi, fearing he might hold a grudge over Xingyun's capture. Furong arrived in the spirit realm, acting arrogantly to make the people dislike him. However, upon seeing Shen Li, he was instantly captivated by her beauty and imposing presence. He decided to use his charm to win her over. Furong then shamelessly hovered around Shen Li, boasting about his abilities to purify miasma, claiming no one but Xingzi could match him. Seeing through his lies, Shen Li, annoyed by his chatter, lightly tapped a porcelain vase nearby, shattering it into pieces, which scared Furong. He feared angering Shen Li and meeting a similar fate. Xingzi, observing Furong's attempts to curry favor, became jealous and impatiently suggested that Furong prove his purification skills immediately. Furong left in a huff, and Xingzi found himself puzzled by his uncharacteristic irritation and unease. The spirit sovereign privately summoned Shen Li to her room and returned the Bihai Kang pearl to her, explaining that Shen Li was born with this pearl. Now that Shen Li had grown into a responsible ruler, the spirit sovereign felt it was time to return the precious pearl to her as a protective talisman. Some free time, Shen Li took Xingzi to explore the spirit realm. Unlike the celestial realm, the spirit realm was bustling with activity, and Xingzi was quickly attracted by the various delicacies sold in the market. While Shen Li and Xingzi wandered through the market, Farong roamed around alone. Hearing the widespread admiration for Xingzi in the spirit realm, Farong felt envious and decided to perform some tricks to change their perception of him. To flaunt his privilege, Farong started selling tickets for people to visit the prince's residence. Hearing this, Mofang immediately warned him not to overstep his bounds. When Shen Li returned to the princess's residence and saw her maid stuffed into a sack by Farong, she was both amused and annoyed while hearing about the ticket sales. Fearful of Shen Li's reaction, Farong quickly fled to the rooftop. Shen Li, considering that Farong was her betrothed, tried to give him some face and did not scold him harshly. However, Xingzi couldn't stand it and hit Farong with a broom a couple of times. Hearing Farong's cries of pain, Shen Li scolded Xingzi for meddling in her family affairs. Seeing Shen Li protect Farong like this, Xingzi was left speechless. Recently, the household expenses at the princess's residence have become tight due to hosting both Farong and Xingzi. When the maid reported this, Shen Li asked her to request some money from Xingzi and Farong. Farong used this opportunity to steal the key to Shen Li's armory while giving the maid some spirit stones. Entering the armory for the first time, Farong was dazzled by the array of weapons and decided to store them all in his chinkin bag. When Shen Li discovered her weapons were missing, she angrily confronted Farong. Farong used this as leverage, hoping Shen Li would break off the engagement. Shen Li firmly refused, stating that the engagement could only be annulled with her consent. Watching her leave in anger, Farong was disappointed that his antics hadn't deterred her. Xingzi demanded Farong return the key, reminding him of his status as a renowned deity from the celestial realm. From Farong's chinkin bag, Xingzi retrieved Shen Li's weapons, including a golden lockbox. Xingzi uncovered a cherished item inside, a hairpin he had given Shen Li in the mortal world. Realizing Shen Li had kept it all this time, he felt delighted. Meanwhile, Shen Li called on Mofang to drink away her sorrows over the lost weapons. The two had fought side by side on numerous battlefields and spent the entire night drinking. The next morning, Shen Li was thrilled to find her lost weapons returned, immediately guessing it was thanks to Xingzi. Hearing that Xingzi had gone out to eat, she quickly finished her breakfast and headed out. Maid Ruya relayed Xingzi's message that if Shen Li wanted to break off the engagement, she should talk to him directly. Farong continued causing trouble in the spirit realm, taking things for free and making himself a nuisance in the market. Following Shen Li's orders, Mofang settled all of Farong's debts. To celebrate recovering Shen Li's weapons, Xingzi asked her to accompany him around the marketplace, enjoying tea and sampling local delicacies. Meanwhile, Farong, unwilling to be left out, wandered into the spirit realm's most famous flower house. Here, the enchanting courtesan performed seductive dances and persuaded patrons to buy expensive drinks. Determined to taste the finest delicacies, Farong spent lavishly, getting drunk. The next morning, Ruya informed Shen Li that Farong had not returned home. Farong, aiming to create trouble, clung to the courtesan's leg, prompting her to curse him loudly. Shen Li was irritated by Farong's growing audacity. She wrote a letter to the celestial realm, detailing Farong's behavior in the spirit realm. Xingzi questioned why Shen Li didn't inform the spirit lord. Shen Li explained that despite disliking Farong, she didn't want to disappoint the spirit lord, knowing how crucial the marriage was for the spirit realm. Xingzi felt regretful, recognizing his initial matchmaking had caused such complications. Since receiving the Bihai Kangzu from the Spirit Lord, Shen Li has been experiencing heart palpitations for several days. One night, she became feverish. Ruya first sought Farong, but he was absent, so she turned to Xingzi. Xingzi used his divine power to cool Shen Li down. After ensuring her condition had improved, he left. Pondering if someone had cast a ruthless spell on her, Farong developed a fascination with Mofang, frequently visiting the military camp to find him. Seeing Farong's persistence, Shen Li decided to be proactive instead of reactive. She deliberately told Farong that Mofang was her man, shocking him. Farong, outraged, immediately demanded to break off the engagement. Xingzi overhearing Shen Li's comment about Mofang, he couldn't help feeling jealous. He watched as Shen Li treated the soldiers with camaraderie, even putting her arms around their shoulders. When Shen Li proposed a sparring match, offering wine to reward anyone who could defeat her, Xingzi decided to join the challenge. On the sparring platform, Shen Li was surprised by Xingzi's participation. Despite her best efforts, Xingzi's agility and mastery of techniques outmatched her, winning easily to the admiration of all. Instead of claiming the wine, Xingzi asked Shen Li 3 questions. He inquired about her relationship with the 2 soldiers who had spoken freely earlier. The soldiers were perplexed. They clarified that they were simply loyal to their princess. When Xingzi pointed to Mofang and asked about their relationship, Shen Li realized that Xingzi might be upset about her earlier comment. To avoid causing trouble for Mofang, whom she had recently rejected, she clarified that Mofang was also just a colleague. Furong, thinking Xingzi had sought answers for him, gratefully thanked him. However, when Xingzi calmly mentioned he had informed the Heavenly Lord about Furong's actions in the spirit realm, he was struck speechless. Upon receiving Xingzi's message, the Heavenly Lord was initially calm as he read about Furong's misdeeds in the spirit realm. But when he learned that Furong had openly harassed women, his anger erupted. Furong for disgracing the celestial realm, he decreed that Furong must return to the celestial realm within 3 days. Drunk and stumbling back late at night, he encountered Mofang. Intending to tease him, Mofang kicked him to the ground, and Furong, realizing he was no match for Mofang, quickly fled. The next morning, the Spirit Lord summoned Shen Li and informed her that Furong had inexplicably escaped to the celestial realm during the night. Believing the spirit realm might have mistreated Furong, the Spirit Lord ordered Shen Li to descend to the mortal realm to retrieve him. She also suggested Shen Li spend more time with Furong in the mortal realm to foster their relationship, unaware that neither had any interest in the other. Shen Li descended to the mortal realm and tracked Furong to Jinsho village, where a wedding was taking place. The joyous celebration and the sight of the happy couple made Shen Li yearn for a similar loving relationship. She wandered through the city, eventually arriving at the small courtyard where she and Xingyun had once lived. The courtyard was now desolate, except for a vibrant pear blossom tree. Shen Li reminisced about Xingyun calling her for meals when she had transformed into a phoenix, but those days were long gone. Shen Li visited Jinyu Mansion and overheard a storyteller recounting the tale of Ji Chengjin, who had become the city lord through wisdom and bravery. His wife, Yi Shi, had lived a pious life after being revived and died peacefully. Ji Chengjin, deeply in love with her, never remarried and died of a broken heart a year later. Moved by this story of deep love, Shen Li reflected on her own experiences. Recalling how Xingyun had rescued her from the rain, Shen Li went to the stream where it had happened. Xingzi appeared, and Shen Li shared her experiences in the mortal realm, particularly her time with Xingyun. She revealed that she had guessed Xingzi was Xingyun, but no longer cared because her feelings for Xingyun had faded. Shen Li asked Xingzi why he had descended to the mortal realm, abandoning his role as a celestial lord. Xingzi explained that he had grown bored and sought to experience mortal life. He admitted to concealing his identity in the spirit realm because he had no feelings for her, which was a lie meant to protect her. She retorted that she would soon marry Furong, ending her connection with Xingyun. As Shen Li prepared to continue her search for Furong, she witnessed a group capturing earth spirits. Xingzi used his water-stopping technique to help one of them, who revealed that many earth spirits had been captured by a small cultivation sect called Fushengmen. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Shen Li decided to investigate the disappearance of the earth spirits before finding Furong. At Qingya Cave, the escaped earth spirit led Shen Li and Xingzi to find the missing comrades. Detecting powerful demonic energy ahead, Xingzi gave the earth spirit a magical artifact for protection and sent him back while he and Shen Li proceeded to rescue the captured spirits. As they approached, they heard the agonized cries of the imprisoned earth spirits being drained of their spiritual energy by demons. It was clear that they were dealing with an organized and powerful group. Xingzi devised a plan. Shen Li would rescue the imprisoned earth spirits, while he set up a protective array around them. At a critical moment, Xingzi opened all the prison doors with a mere wave of his sleeve, freeing the earth spirits. The released spirits claimed that people from the spirit realm had captured them, speaking disrespectfully of the spirit realm and openly insulting the spirit lord. Infuriated, Shen Li grabbed one of the slanderous men by the throat, but Xingzi intervened, advising her to remain calm and avoid giving the impression that the spirit realm acted recklessly. Reluctantly, Shen Li let go. With the earth spirits freed, Shen Li and Xingzi prepared to part ways so she could continue her search for Furong. However, the recent battle had left her hungry. Xingzi offered to cook for her, and Shen Li, longing for Xingyun's cooking, agreed to stay for a meal. They found a courtyard to borrow a kitchen, only to discover it was a den of a snake demon and her offspring, who resembled Xiaohe, a small snake Shen Li had encountered in the mortal realm. Shen Li warned the snake demon, and Xiaohe eagerly offered to accompany them to Jinyu Mansion to exorcise the demons there. Upon arriving in Jinshou City, they found it enveloped in demonic energy despite the late hour. Poisonous miasma had killed many, and Xingzi saved a poisoned mother. They then heard footsteps and saw a filthy, disheveled Furong leading a group to safety. Despite his usual arrogance, Furong had been helping injured and poisoned civilians. He brought Shen Li and Xingzi to his temporary shelter, where many people he had saved were resting. Impressed by Furong's unexpected kindness, Shen Li smiled approvingly. Amidst the chaos, Xiaohe excitedly called out a name, drawing Shen Li's attention to a familiar face, Ji Yu Chengjin. Xiaohe, seeing Ji Yu Chengjin, whom she called her brother Jingyan, was filled with joy. The scene reminded Shen Li of how Xiaohe had sacrificed herself to save Ji Yu Chengjin's beloved, and now it seemed like history was repeating itself. Ji Yu Chengjin was carefully tending to a deeply poisoned woman who bore a striking resemblance to Yi Shi. Xingzi explained to Shen Li that after becoming the city lord, Ji Yu Chengjin had planted many lotus flowers in his mansion's pond, in memory of Xiaohe, who had sacrificed herself for him. Shen Li and Xingzi searched for the entrance to Fusheng sect in the human realm for a long time but found no trace. Finally, Xingzi used a strand of Shen Li's hair to clear the fog, making the entrance of Fusheng sect instantly visible. As they entered, they encountered a strong presence of malevolent spirits and demons everywhere. Shen Li quickly defeated many demons. The last demon they interrogated revealed that the left side housed the imprisoned Earth Immortals, the right side was where the mastermind hid. Shen Li assigned Xingzi to rescue the Earth Immortals while she went to the right to eliminate the demons. Rumors in the mortal realm blamed the Ling clan for the disturbances, tarnishing their reputation, which Shen Li could not tolerate. Shen Li eventually confronted the mastermind, Fusang, who was a mere mortal. She discovered that Fusang had manipulated one of her generals, Zixia. Though everyone believed Zixia had sacrificed himself, Fusang had corrupted him with malevolent energy, turning him into a servant of evil. Shen Li was reluctant to harm her subordinate, but Fusang exploited her compassion, almost strangling her to death. Xingzi arrived just in time. Seeing his beloved nearly killed, he angrily froze Fusheng sect, instantly immobilizing all demons. Xingzi held the severely injured Shen Li in his arms, comforting her and assuring her that with him around, neither the Ling clan nor the mortal realm would suffer any harm. Hearing his comforting words, Shen Li felt deeply moved. She had always protected others, and now someone was willing to protect her with all their might. Meanwhile, Jingyan carefully tended to Shila, a woman severely poisoned by the miasma. Seeing Jingxi getting close to Furong, helping heal the poisoned people, Jingyan couldn't help but feel jealous. He approached Jingxi, reminding her to keep her distance from Furong. Xingzi carried the unconscious Shen Li back to the academy. Furong, who was used to seeing the strong and invincible Shen Li, felt uneasy seeing her so weak and motionless on the bed. Xingzi required Furong to return to the celestial realm immediately. With many Earth Immortals recently being captured under mysterious circumstances, the celestial realm needed to be informed as soon as possible, despite having just eliminated the main enemy. Furong, knowing that Jingyan had hurt Jingxi in a previous life, decided to appear as a rival to help the innocent and pitiable girl. As expected, Jingyan grew increasingly jealous seeing Jingxi constantly around Furong. Jingyan explained that he was repaying a debt of gratitude to Shila, who had helped him when he was young. Understanding this, Jingxi fell silent. Xingzi recognized that Jingyan was Qingye. He invited Qingye for a walk and awakened his divine consciousness. asking if he knew about Fusang. Qingye only remembered that Fusang was a former aide of the young master, executed for his misdeeds. Jingyan had been captured by Fusang and rescued by Shila. Moreover, the person who had killed Jingyan's parents bore a striking resemblance to Fusang. Xingzi could only awaken Qingye for a brief period. After a short conversation, the arrogant Jingyan reawakened. Xingzi advised him that now, with the ability to purify the miasma, he should strive to do good deeds for the people. After Jingyan left, Shen Li emerged from the shadows. Xingzi explained Qingye's past life. He was originally a high god in the celestial realm, punished to experience hardships in the mortal world for breaking celestial rules, and repeatedly missing his beloved. Xingzi imparted some spiritual power to Jingyan, hoping he would soon realize his true purpose. Shen Li reflected on how in his past life, Jingyan wavered between two women, ultimately harming both. She remarked that history seemed to be repeating itself, and Jingyan needed to make his own choices. Fate is determined by destiny and personal decisions. Amidst the fireworks and celebrations of the mortal realm, people rejoiced in their newfound freedom from the miasma. Xingzi took Shen Li to enjoy the Lantern Festival and watch the fireworks. Surrounded by cheerful faces, Shen Li cherished the brief peace. Despite being separated several times by the crowd, they always found each other again. Shen Li was deeply touched by the rabbit lantern Xingzi gave her. Even though she knew celestial beings were not supposed to fall in love, she couldn't help but feel happy at Xingzi's heartfelt gesture. Under the moonlight, Shila went to bid farewell to Jingyan, finding him awkwardly making a grasshopper out of straw. This was something Shila had made for him when she rescued him as a child to comfort him. Now, Jingyan was making one for her. After a brief exchange, Shila stood up to leave. For some reason, Jingyan shed many tears as he watched her walk away. The next day, Jingyan left with his junior sister, while Shila departed by boat, witnessing their intimate interaction. The treasured grasshopper fell silently to the ground. In this life, Shila was destined to be the lotus flower spirit who sacrificed for love, and Jingyan was fated to continually miss his true love. When Shen Li recovered, Xingzi took her back to Bikin Palace. Ruya informed Shen Li that Farong had returned to their residence and was constantly clinging to Mofang. Bikin Palace now hosted not only Farong but also the celestial maiden Luotian. Currently, Lingzhen was in the front hall receiving this honored guest from the celestial realm. Shanbei Xianjun explained the background of Luotian, whose body was extremely weak in her youth. The celestial gods had almost given up hope, but Xingzi took her away and miraculously cured her, leading Luotian to develop feelings for him. Shen Li recounted her experiences in the mortal realm to her master, Lingzhen. Though Lingzhen had never heard of Fusang, she was alarmed to learn that General Zixia had been turned into a puppet. Realizing the severity of the situation, after Shen Li left, Lingzhen immediately ordered her subordinates to descend to the mortal realm and capture Fusang, decreeing that he should be executed on sight without reporting to the celestial realm. The celestial maiden Yulin approaches Mofang, demanding he recount Xingzi's arrival in the spirit realm and the entire incident at Zushan Abyss. Shen Li immediately disliked Yulin, especially seeing her boss around Mofang. She forcefully took Mofang away. Yulin, with a haughty attitude, provoked Shen Li, who tightly held onto Mofang's wrist. Xingzi, observing Shen Li's concern for another man, swiftly intervened to protect Yulin. Shen Li felt a mix of love and hate towards Xingzi, perceiving his behavior as cold and then intentionally seductive, which frustrated her. To make a point, she deliberately walked away with Mofang. Being so close to Shen Li made Mofang's heart race. Knowing he and Shen Li couldn't be together, he maintained a respectful distance. Shen Li handed Mofang General Zixia's token, asking him to deliver it to Zixia's widow. She advised Mofang not to blame himself too much, as soldiers often face danger and sacrifice. Seeing Zixia's widow weep over the memento deeply affected Mofang, leading him to drink away his sorrows that night. Shen Li, also feeling sorrowful, joined the soldiers for a drink to honor the fallen comrades. That night, Shen Li drank and Mofang carried her home. Their closeness brought back memories, making Mofang wish that moment could last forever. Shen Li, in her drunken state, agreed, expressing a desire to watch the stars. As the cool breeze sobered Shen Li, she realized the awkwardness of the situation, lying on her subordinate's rooftop. Just as she contemplated a discreet exit, she heard Farong's voice accusing her of an improper rendezvous. Shen Li was unafraid of Farong but tensed up upon hearing Xingzi. Farong's incessant chatter annoyed Shen Li, who silenced him forcefully. Farong once again suggested breaking off the engagement, and Xingzi agreed on the spot. This upset Shen Li, who accused Xingzi of acting rashly. She reminded him that his irresponsible matchmaking started this and that only she could annul the engagement in the spirit realm. She vehemently opposed the idea. Xingzi had never confessed his feelings to Shen Li, leaving her heart in constant turmoil. Now, his hurtful words stung deeply. She hinted that with the miasma at Zushan Abyss cleared and no pressing matters in the spirit realm, Xingzi should return to his duties, making her stance clear. Xingzi had no choice but to agree, stating he would return to the celestial realm with Yulin the next day. After Xingzi left, Shen Li found herself frequently distracted, reminiscing about their time together at Zushan Abyss. She felt conflicted, as Xingzi had shown care for her then but often appeared cold otherwise, leaving her uncertain of his true nature. Lingzhen, noticing Shen Li's distraction and mistaking it for lovesickness over Farong's departure, assigned her a mission to the celestial realm to give her a change of scenery. Xingzi returned to the Heavenly Emperor, who confessed his recent obsession with a jade cup owned by another deity. Torn between his desire to possess it and the unbecoming nature of seizing it, he was in a dilemma. This struck a chord with Xingzi, who harbored similar feelings towards Shen Li. Upon returning to the celestial realm, Yulin was greeted by many of her sisters, who inquired about Xingzi's heroic deeds in the mortal realm. Unable to resist, Yulin spoke of her experiences in the spirit realm, including Shen Li. The little celestial maidens mentioned that Shen Li seemed to have fallen for a mortal resembling Xingzi and had visited him multiple times. Curious, Yulin sought confirmation from Farong, who, being uncertain, only fueled her anxiety. During the 100 Flowers banquet, he noticed Shen Li's name and, being an old acquaintance, warmly welcomed her and offered to guide her around the celestial realm. Sensing some disdain from the heavenly beings, Shen Li decided to avoid unnecessary trouble. Discovering Shen Li had visited Farong's residence, Yulin rushed over to cause trouble. However, Farong, aware of the situation, intervened, assuring that Shen Li's relationship with Xingzi was strained, thus diffusing the situation. One of Farong's admirers, jealous of Shen Li's engagement with him, poisoned her soup. Shen Li quickly detected the plot, calmly drank her porridge, and questioned the celestial maiden's true feelings for Farong, offering to step aside if her affection was genuine. The jealous maiden and her accomplices attacked with silver needles, but Shen Li, experienced in such matters, swiftly captured them. Farong was informed of the incident and hurried back, only to hear Shen Li nonchalantly claim she had killed the attackers and made them into roast meat. Shocked, Farong believed Shen Li had used the captured maidens as ingredients, prompting him to vomit at the sight of raw meat nearby. However, looking up, he saw them suspended from the roof with firepans beneath them. Screaming in terror, he pleaded with Shen Li to release them, emphasizing his gratitude. Though Shen Li untied them, the maidens continued their annoying chatter. At that moment, the Heavenly Emperor arrived. Shen Li recounted the series of attacks she faced upon arriving at Farong's residence, including poisoning, needle attacks, ambushes, and drugged incense. The Heavenly Emperor was visibly embarrassed and quickly agreed when Shen Li expressed her wish to leave Farong's residence, finding her a quieter place to stay. Shen Li wanted to avoid further trouble with the jealous celestial maidens and sought peace. Unexpectedly, the Emperor arranged for her to stay at Xingzi's residence. With trepidation, Shen Li arrived at the Western Garden, where playful catfish spirits tugged at her clothes, insisting she join them in the lotus pond. Despite their mischief, Shen Li found their company endearing and joined them in a playful water fight. It had been a long time since she had enjoyed such innocent fun. Xingzi returned home to the unusual sound of laughter and found Shen Li amid the water fight. She shot him a glare, recalling their previous encounters involving water, especially the time she appeared as a distressed phoenix. To appease her, Xingzi playfully pretended to scold the catfish spirits and instructed them to take good care of Shen Li. Xingzi approached, asking if she was comfortable in the celestial realm. Just then, Yulin arrived and overheard their conversation, surprised by their apparent familiarity. Yulin suggested taking Shen Li to the cleansing pool, a celestial tradition. Shen Li agreed, curious about the experience. The celestial realm, with its pervasive spiritual energy, greatly benefited her cultivation. At the cleansing pool, Shen Li felt her celestial powers being suppressed, suspecting it was a measure to keep the spirit realm in check. Suddenly, a fierce divine beast charged at Yulin. Her inadequate celestial powers left her vulnerable, so Shen Li intervened, subduing the beast. Before she could punish it, a celestial servant arrived, explaining the beast belonged to Xingzi and was meant to accompany Shen Li. It had inexplicably become agitated. Shen Li refrained from further action, realizing Yulin likely orchestrated the incident. After Shen Li left, Xingzi reprimanded Yulin for her underhanded tactics. Yulin, tearfully kneeling, reminded Xingzi of the celestial rule forbidding heavenly lords from falling in love. Xingzi, expressionless, coldly reassured her that she was overthinking it, claiming he and Shen Li were not close. The next day, Shen Li woke up early and stepped out of her courtyard to find breakfast already prepared, a familiar sight of Xingzi's handiwork from her time in the mortal realm. She returned the meal to her room. Noticing Xingzi emerging from a nearby courtyard, Shen Li nodded slightly in gratitude before eating her meals. Curious about the courtyard Xingzi frequently visited, Shen Li explored it. She discovered numerous ancestral tablets bearing names like Qing Yi, Luo Xing, Guan Yu, and Qian Ji, realizing it was a shrine dedicated to ancient deities. The tablets seemed to welcome her. One named Qian Ji even showing her a memory of young Xingzi's early days in the celestial realm, displaying an endearingly innocent side of him. Xingzi entered the shrine and explained that these deities had suffered tragic fates, losing their divine status. They had to undergo tribulations in the mortal realm, experiencing its hardships. Xingzi revealed that if he were to face a similar fate, losing his divine status and powers would also lead to the downfall of Lingjia, as its lifeline was tied to him. Shen Li, understanding the weight of Xingzi's responsibilities, earnestly urged him to survive and fulfill his duties until the end of his natural life. Her sincere concern made Xingzi admit that he couldn't afford to have feelings for her, given his pivotal role. Shen Li was moved, finally comprehending why Xingzi had been so inconsistent in his behavior towards her. She promised to maintain her distance, requesting that he stop teasing her. Xingzi couldn't help but laugh at her candidness. As the 100 Flowers feast approached, Shen Li mingled at the event. Yulin introduced her to celestial peaches and fine wine, and Shen Li, assured of Yulin's benign intentions this time, indulged. The celestial wine's potency soon made her fall into a deep sleep. Upon waking, she heard the heavenly music signaling the start of the feast and prepared to fly to the 9 heavens. En route, she encountered massive fireballs heading toward the western garden with destructive force. Recognizing the danger to the ancestral tablets, Shen Li rushed to protect the shrine. The heavenly emperor and his soldiers were informed of the attack and hastened to provide aid. Xingzi, arriving just in time, found Shen Li heroically defending the shrine. Despite the garden's scorched remains, Shen Li had tried to safeguard the ancestral tablets. In the aftermath, as everyone worried about Shen Li's condition, Xingzi emerged from the wreckage carrying an unconscious, severely injured Shen Li. When Shen Li woke up, Xingzi refused to let her return. He asked her to stay here until her wound was completely healed. Yulin, seeing Shen Li and Xingzi locked in a heated argument, promptly reported to the Heavenly Emperor, summoning them to the Lingxiao Palace. Upon arriving, Shen Li learned about the attack on the Ling clan 5 days ago, which had resulted in devastating casualties. 10 generals had been died with countless soldiers falling in battle. Ling Zun was severely injured and unconscious. Shen Li connected the dots, realizing the attack on the celestial realm had been a diversion. The true target was the Ling clan. Shen Li composed herself and bid farewell to the celestial realm, determined to return to her clan. Xingzi watched her leave with a sense of longing, aware that despite the necessity of keeping his emotions in check, his feelings for Shen Li were undeniable. Back in the Ling clan, Shen Li was greeted by scenes of devastation. Wounded soldiers lay everywhere, while Ling Zun remained unconscious. Reports indicated that the attackers, though only numbering around 300, possessed immense strength and imperviousness to conventional weapons. Only enchanted weapons wielded by skilled practitioners could inflict damage. Shen Li recalled the black-clad assailants she had encountered previously, noting their zombie-like demeanor. The grim news that their valiant warriors had not yet been buried due to a clan tradition hit her hard. She visited each fallen soldier, paying her respects and recalling their faces, feeling a deep sorrow. Hearing that Mofang had been devoured in battle enraged her further. She vowed to find him, dead or alive, and organized a grand memorial ceremony, swearing vengeance. In the dark forest, Fu Sheng, hearing his subordinates report that the Azure Sea Pearl can't be found despite scouring the Ling clan, he grew frustrated. Fu Sheng berated his underlings for their incompetence, declaring the previous battle had only cost them a few puppets. He planned to create more and launch a larger assault. To bolster his power, Fu Sheng ordered his men to find robust individuals for him to drain. Fu Sheng's ultimate goal was the Azure Sea Pearl, which he believed the Ling Zun had entrusted to Shen Li. Soon, the Ling clan patrols reported that the black-clad attackers were heading towards the Zushan Abyss. The generals, eager for revenge, were ready to strike, but Shen Li advised them caution. Confident that the abyss's barrier would hold, she decided to lead the charge herself. As the Ling clan prepared to march, residents near the Zushan Abyss held a grand blessing ceremony for the departing generals. Just as Shen Li set out, the abyss was attacked. Villagers fled in terror from the demonic creatures, the once clear sky now ominously overcast. In a desperate moment, Shen Li arrived with her forces, her spear turning the demons to mush. A little boy previously crying in despair, watched in awe as Shen Li, standing on a crimson cloud, decimated their enemies. Fu Sheng, finally encountering Shen Li, found himself at a disadvantage, his hand wounded by her spear. Shen Li declared that he would first have to contend with her and her formidable weapon. Shen Li and Fu Sheng clashed fiercely, exchanging powerful blows. He employed a water-stopping technique, summoning towering waves to engulf her. However, she soared gracefully above, deftly evading the attack. Fu Sheng created more puppets to drain Shen Li's energy. Recognizing the technique as Xingzi's formation, she taunted Fu Sheng for his audacity. Just as she prepared to strike him down, a familiar figure emerged, Mofang. Fu Sheng referred to Mofang as the young master, seeking permission to eliminate Shen Li. Mofang urged Fu Sheng to withdraw, but he stubbornly pressed on, emphasizing the proximity of their goal, the Azure Sea Pearl. Hearing their exchange, Shen Li's heart grew cold. The clan had suspected a traitor after their crushing defeat, and now it was clear, Mofang. Shen Li, who had shared countless battles and forged an unbreakable bond with Mofang over 3 centuries, felt deeply betrayed. She confronted Mofang, who implored Fu Sheng to retreat. Instead, Fu Sheng bound Mofang with ropes and commanded his puppets to attack Shen Li relentlessly. Fu Sheng unleashed his full strength, driving Shen Li into the lake and freezing its surface. He instructed his subordinates to retrieve the Azure Sea Pearl once Shen Li's life force ceased. Underestimating her, Fu Sheng was unprepared for Shen Li's resurgence. She broke through the icy barrier and launched a counterattack, subduing both Fu Sheng and Mofang. Meanwhile, Fu Sheng, having absorbed immense dark energy, saw his power surge. As half the sky darkened with ominous clouds, Mofang, realizing Fu Sheng's plan, pleaded with Shen Li to flee southwest. Torn between trust and caution, she hesitated. But Fu Sheng caught her and began to take out the Azure Sea Pearl. Refusing to yield, Shen Li gathered her remaining strength. She forced all her spiritual power outward, intending to perish alongside Fu Sheng. Her sacrificial act unleashed a fiery blaze that consumed Fu Sheng, preventing him from obtaining the Azure Sea Pearl. As Shen Li's life ebbed away, her thoughts turned to Xingzi. With Fu Sheng vanquished, the spirit realm was safe, but she longed to taste Xingzi's cooking one last time. The Ling clan's generals returned with Shen Li's relics. The spirit sovereign, finally awakening, sought to prevent Shen Li from seeking vengeance but was met with the heartbreaking news of her death. Conveyed by General Shanbei, who bore her ashes. Overcome with grief, the spirit sovereign instructed General Shanbei to report the tragic events to the Heavenly Emperor and annul Shen Li's marriage contract. Meanwhile, in the celestial realm, Fu Yang regularly visited the Lingxiao Palace, eager for news of the Ling clan and Shen Li, whom he had come to regard highly. Encountering the somber General Shanbei, Fuyang sensed something amiss. General Shanbei, draped in mourning attire, delivered the sorrowful news of Shen Li's demise in the Eastern Sea. Xingzi, upon hearing this, trembled and interrupted Shanbei, warning against unverified statements. Maddened with grief, Xingzi sought the Heavenly Emperor's leave, determined to search the Eastern Sea himself for any sign of her. Xingzi searched every corner of the Eastern Sea but found no trace of Shen Li, only a fragment of her red robe. Despite his efforts to suppress his feelings for the sake of his responsibilities to the three realms, losing her made him question his purpose. Memories of their time together flooded back. Shen Li once jokingly told him that she would hold him accountable if she ever died in battle. Xingzi had promised to give his life in return. Now, he intended to fulfill that promise. Defying fate itself. Determined to save Shen Li, Xingzi froze the Eastern Sea, vowing to find even the faintest trace of her spirit. The Dragon King of the Eastern Sea rushed to the Celestial Realm to complain. The Heavenly Lord, understanding Xingzi's desperation, urged him to remain calm. Fuyang, upon hearing that Xingzi had frozen the Eastern Sea, he hurried to find him. Seeing Xingzi covered in blood, Fuyang was taken aback. Deep emotions now drove the always composed and steady Xingzi. Xingzi acknowledged the backlash from his actions, realizing how pathetically vulnerable he was. The vast three realms seemed insignificant now that he couldn't find the one person he sought. Regaining some clarity, Xingzi lifted the frieze from the Eastern Sea. Fuyang, feeling uneasy about the situation, reflected on Shen Li's sacrifice for the spirit realm, finding it unbearably tragic. Intrigued, Yulan pressed Fuyang for details about what he witnessed in the spirit realm. However, Fuyang stubbornly refused, swearing to keep those memories to himself. Yulan knocked Fuyang unconscious and tossed him into the cleansing pool. The pool's divine power revealed his memories, leaving Yulan moved by the missed connections between Shen Li and Xingzi. The Celestial Lord ordered Yulan to deliver half of the Celestial Realm's spiritual stones to the Spirit Realm as a gesture of condolence. Upon arrival, Yulan was surrounded by Spirit Realm inhabitants demanding justice for Shen Li. They expressed their frustration, feeling their sacrifices had gone unappreciated. They didn't care about the spiritual stones, they wanted to honor Shen Li's sacrifice. The Spirit Sovereign wept for Shen Li, whom she had raised like a daughter. Though their relationship was formally that of master and disciple, their bond was as strong as that between mother and daughter. Since the battle at the Eastern Sea, Mofang has resisted letting Fu Sheng take over his body. Fu Sheng reminded Mofang of his past. Xingzi created the Void Abyss 1,000 years ago, trapping their master. Fu Sheng had secretly saved the infant Mofang, nurturing him with his blood until he grew strong. He then sent Mofang to the spirit realm to gain skills, but Mofang repeatedly thwarted his plans. He had frequently tried to corrupt Mofang, turning his once pure nature into something cold-blooded and morally ambiguous. They together attacked spirit realm generals guarding the seal and collected magical artifacts to amass power, aiming to dominate the Void Abyss someday. Mofang could consider anything Fu Sheng proposed, except harming Shen Li. Weakened by Shen Li's red feather spear, Mofang found it harder to resist Fu Sheng. Seizing the opportunity, Fu Sheng ambushed Mofang from behind, completely taking over his body and mind. Mofang became nothing more than a puppet. Shen Li was bound by Fu Sheng's chains and immobilized within a bagua array, enchanted nails siphoning her blood daily. She was imprisoned alongside the third prince of the Northern Sea, whose inner core Fu Sheng had stolen. The prince, hearing Shen Li speak, lamented that she had been unconscious for 3 months. Her senses had gradually returned, except for sight and touch. Shen Li worried about the spirit realm, knowing the celestial realm had declared her dead. She feared for her comrades, mentor, and Ru Ya, hoping they weren't too grief-stricken. Meanwhile, Fuyang had taken the unconscious Xingzi back to the Eastern Sea. 3 months later, Xingzi awoke, hearing the Dragon King had found Shen Li's red feather spear. Seeing the weapon but not its owner deepened Xingzi's sorrow. Shen Li, now devoid of spiritual power, like a mortal. She couldn't escape the surrounding arrays, so she focused on healing. Though Shen Li couldn't see, she recognized Fu Sheng's voice. She taunted him, mocking his reliance on others' bodies for survival. Angered by Shen Li's defiance, Fu Sheng used soul-devouring needles on her. Despite the agony, she remained resolute, determined to protect her realm and thwart his evil plans. Suddenly, a trace of spiritual power appeared within Fu Sheng's body. Mo Fang was struggling to suppress him, stopping the torture. Mo Fang, barely in control, fled hastily. With Fu Sheng gone, Shen Li urged the third prince to escape and inform the celestial realm about the invasion of the Northern Sea. The prince, however, was terrified. He feared being caught and tortured like Shen Li. He admitted he lacked her courage and mentioned his mother was a lesser consort, leaving him without strong allies in the Northern Sea. Mo Fang, regaining some control over his mind, took advantage of Fu Sheng's absence and freed Shen Li. Seeing a chance to escape, the third prince followed suit. Mo Fang carried Shen Li to a hidden mountain stream, aware that dark forces were searching for them. He wanted to remove the nails from Shen Li's body but hesitated, fearing it would cause her unbearable pain. To evade detection by Fu Sheng's spies, Mo Fang apologized for his past actions. Shen Li, able to hear and faintly see Mo Fang, felt pain and sorrow. Pain because her old comrade was risking his life to save her, and sorrow because Mo Fang had betrayed their tribe, causing the deaths of many spirit tribe warriors. From that moment, they were enemies. Mo Fang had to divert Fu Sheng's spies, leaving Shen Li temporarily hidden. Soon after, her blood trickled into the Eastern Sea. Xingzi, having resolved to starve himself to death, caught the scent of Shen Li's blood and immediately followed the trail. He found her, unconscious on a rock but still alive. Overwhelmed with relief, he muttered that Shen Li had saved his life. Xingzi carried the unconscious Shen Li away. She, unable to see or hear, mistook Xingzi for Mo Fang and angrily rejected his help, declaring they were now enemies. Xingzi, understanding her confusion, stayed silent to avoid causing her more distress. He carefully held her, offering quiet comfort. When Shen Li woke again, she could smell the sea and assumed her savior was a fisherman. Xingzi, aware she only had her sense of smell, complied with her every request to keep her calm. He meticulously prepared meals and tended to her needs. As Shen Li's condition improved, she asked the fisherman to remove the nails from her body, warning him to do it quickly without concern for her pain. Removing the numerous nails was a difficult task. Xingzi used his divine powers to stabilize Shen Li's vital energies. Xingzi held her close, waiting for her to regain strength before carefully removing the next nail. Shen Li, on the brink of death, found it curious that she felt no pain and even thought the person helping her might be Xingzi. After a long, agonizing night, Shen Li woke up feeling stronger and able to see again. Hearing a noise outside, she looked and saw Xingzi. She realized the fisherman, who had been so gentle and caring, was indeed Xingzi. She, realizing that Xingji has been deliberately concealing his identity these past few days, concludes that he must be trying to avoid awkwardness between them. Given the strict rules of the heavenly realm and her recent recovery from having the black iron removed, which impaired her movement, Shen Li decides to help keep his secret. Shen Li craves fish and hopes that he can cook some for her. With the lady's request, Xingji promptly sets out on a small boat to catch fish. The minor deities of the East Sea notice the eminent celestial lord fishing and report it to the Dragon King. After careful consideration, the Dragon King deduces that Xingji wouldn't be fishing for mere small fish or shrimp. He orders his subordinates to replace the fish in Xingji's net with pearls and rare treasures. Despite his efforts, Xingji doesn't catch any fish and returns home to make seaweed soup. While drinking the soup, Shen Li wonders if Xingji has lost his ability to catch fish, resorting to seaweed soup instead. The next day, an annoyed Xingji directly asks the East Sea Dragon King for fish. Initially, the Dragon King offers him a seductive mermaid. But when Xingji inquires if she is good for making soup, the Dragon King turns pale, understanding the true request. He then carefully selects 2 fish for Xingji, one suitable for making soup and the other for grilling. Shen Li enjoys the fish congee and praises Xingji, lifting his spirits. Xingji then seeks a reward for his efforts, but Shen Li nonchalantly asks him to continue fishing. While Xingji is out, Shen Li begins practicing walking, though it is difficult due to the lingering effects of the black iron spikes. Seeing her in pain and sweating from her exertion each day, Xingji feels heartache for her. Yulan, not having received news from Xingji for several days, wakes up Fuyang and asks him to check on Xingji at the East Sea. Fuyang learns from the East Sea Dragon King that Xingji has gone ashore. He finds Xingji nearby and discovers the shocking secret that Shen Li is still alive. Xingji asks Fuyang to keep this a secret for now, not even telling the Celestial Realm or Ling Zun, as Shen Li's body still needs to recover, and he wants to care for her without any disturbances. Fuyang agrees and keeps the secret. Back in the Celestial Realm, the kind-hearted Fuyang searches for medical books to help Shen Li regain her strength. Hearing that Fuyang is helping Xingji, his elder sister Yulan insists on accompanying him. Seeing Fuyang's nervous expression, she becomes suspicious and uses a trick to discover that Shen Li is still alive and is her savior. Yulan, understanding the situation, thoughtfully gives Fuyang medicinal charms without mentioning visiting Xingji together. It seemed Xingji was genuinely adapting to the life of a fisherman, just as he had when they first met. Despite retaining his memories of the Celestial Realm, he adhered to a human lifestyle meticulously, which was one of his most endearing qualities. Shen Li overheard Fuyang's voice while he was applying medicine to Xingji and noticed a large wound on Xingji's shoulder. This made her feel deeply sympathetic and guilty for having taken Xingji's care for granted without realizing he was also seriously hurt. Curious about Xingji's fishing trips, Shen Li went to the seaside to wait for his return. The East Sea Dragon King informed that Xingji was fishing again, and initially ordered his subordinates to place fine fish in the nets. Following further suggestions, they swapped the fish for various rare treasures. When Xingji found these in his nets again, he was exasperated. Shen Li secretly found it amusing, recognizing that the Dragon King deliberately placed the treasures. Xingji offered Shen Li to pick some treasures she liked and planned to exchange some pearls at the market for fish. However, this time, Xingji and Shen Li encountered a troublemaker at the market, the village chief's son, Wang Bao. Wang Bao first coveted the pearls in Xingji's hands and then, mesmerized by Shen Li's beauty, developed lecherous intentions. Xingji lightly waved his sleeve, giving Wang Bao a black eye. That night, Wang Bao, seeking revenge, brought 2 lackeys to sneak attack Xingji. After scaling the wall, he realized his folly. He was up against a formidable duo, Shen Li, the queen of the Ling realm, and Xingji, an ancient celestial god. Predictably, Wang Bao and his lackeys were thoroughly beaten again. Shen Li, still affected by the black iron restraints placed by Fu Sheng, often had terrifying nightmares of sinking into the endless depths of the sea, deprived of all senses, surrounded by darkness and horror. Xingji frequently saw her struggling in her nightmares and instructed Fuyang to find ancient medicinal herbs, Blood 7 Child and 5-color molten fire rock, to aid her recovery. Fu Sheng had sent many spies with Shen Li's portrait to find her. Coincidentally, Wang Bao recognized the picture and revealed Shen Li's location, exposing her whereabouts. Fu Sheng's pursuers used a water-stopping technique, thinking they could intimidate Shen Li. However, they were unaware they were facing the ancient god of the 3 realms. With a mere wave of his hand, Xingji turned one of them into an ice sculpture. Introducing himself, Xingji told them to inform Fu Sheng that he would confront him in a few days. Xingji, having exposed his true identity to Shen Li, smiled knowingly, suspecting that she had already recognized him. Although Shen Li was grateful for his rescue, Xingji was dissatisfied. Despite defeating the pursuers, he blamed himself for not being there to protect Shen Li when she was in the greatest danger. Fuyang arrived uninvited and, upon hearing their conversation, realized he no longer needed to disguise himself. He informed Xingji of the latest information. The 2 precious medicinal ingredients they needed were in the possession of Lady Jin and the Snow Mountain Demon. To expedite Shen Li's recovery of her senses, Xingji announced that they would go to the Snowy Mountains to seek the treasures. Fu Sheng, severely injured, was practicing daily to increase his power rapidly. He decided to go to the Snowy Mountains to find the Lingzu to repair his inner core. As Shen Li and Xingji trekked through the Snowy Mountains, Xingji explained that Lady Jin was a golden snake demon, an ancient being with endless treasures. Shen Li remarked on Lady Jin's age, inadvertently offending Xingji, who thought she was hinting at his age. Realizing her mistake, Shen Li apologized, which improved Xingji's mood. They finally found Lady Jin, who appeared in male attire with a small mustache but referred to herself in feminine terms, making it unclear if she was male or female. Lady Jin could read Shen Li's thoughts and examine her pulse, quickly diagnosing that conflicting spiritual energy within her was due to a magical artifact that was burned at high temperatures and merged into her bloodstream. Lady Jin accurately described the situation and confirmed she had the necessary medicinal herbs to restore Shen Li's senses. Cunning as she was, Lady Jin teased about introducing Shen Li to a handsome man, prompting Xing Ji to warn her to stop. Xing Ji offered to give Lady Jin a star from the celestial realm, which would reduce the coldness and gloom of the snowy mountains. Shen Li was moved, worried that removing a star might provoke dissatisfaction from the celestial realm. Xing Ji insisted that Lady Jin immediately begin Shen Li's treatment, although it was supposed to take a day of preparation. He didn't want Lady Jin to take advantage of the situation and asked for the treasure that night. The treatment place was very secluded, and Lady Jin emphasized that Xing Ji, being male, should wait outside, ensuring he didn't bring up other men during the treatment. In the cave, the snake demon stayed by Shen Li's side, watching her struggle to recover using the fire lotus. Only a day had passed, and Shen Li was already exhausted. The snake demon tried to increase the fire lotus's temperature to alleviate Shen Li's cold internal energy. During a break, Shen Li told the snake demon that she was born with a pearl and wondered why the Bai Hai Kang pearl would conflict with her spiritual energy if it belonged to her. The snake demon guessed Shen Li's true identity and speculated that the Lingzhen might have concealed some truths from her. Perhaps the Bai Hai Kang pearl was a demon's inner core. To illustrate, the snake demon showed her inner core, which looked somewhat similar to the Bai Hai Kang pearl, startling Shen Li. On the 8th day of the treatment, Fu Sheng arrived at the snowy mountains with numerous puppets to seize the treasure. The snake demon instructed Shen Li to stay inside the cave no matter what, emphasizing that she must endure all 8 days of treatment for it to be effective. The snake demon then went out to confront the enemies. Fu Sheng unleashed waves of puppets, but the snake demon, having lived for so long, was unimpressed and confident. Fu Sheng's attempt to steal her inner core was laughable to her. However, during the battle, the snake demon lost her inner core to the relentless puppets and, seeing Fu Sheng retreat, decided not to pursue him. Some puppets found their way to Shen Li, and during the ensuing fight, Xing Ji and Shen Li fell into an unknown formation. The snake demon mentioned that the place was a seal, difficult to enter and even harder to exit, and that they needed to find the formation's eye to escape. Shen Li, still burning with fever from her incomplete treatment, told Xing Ji how the snake demon had helped her by staying close and soothing her with her cool touch. He used his divine power to protect Shen Li, helping her merge the conflicting energies within her. She, feeling uneasy, heard a voice telling her that since the outside world was unaware of their situation in the sealed realm, she should embrace her desires. She reminded herself not to violate Xing Ji, given his role as the last ancient god with heavy responsibilities. The voice countered that while gods shouldn't harbor emotions, Shen Li could act on her feelings. It reminded her that she had always suppressed her emotions for the sake of the Ling tribe and had never truly faced her desires. In the formation, Shen Li saw a vision of Xing Ji grieving her supposed death, running to the East Sea in despair, and freezing the entire sea in his sorrow. This act led to a severe injury on his back due to divine punishment. Realizing the extent of Xing Ji's suffering moved Shen Li deeply. He, controlling his emotions, explained that the injury wasn't just from breaking celestial rules but from losing her. He yearned for Shen Li, especially knowing she was still alive. The endless separation and restraint were unbearable. She kissed him gently, murmuring that she was fully aware of what she was doing and had wanted to do so for a long time. The lake around them shimmered, reflecting their tender and passionate moments together. Shen Li notices Xingzi's effort to restrain himself. Facing him, she calmly explains that she has done something she had long intended to do and does not regret her decision. They then share a beautiful moment. The enclosed barrier allows them to confide in each other. The next morning, Shen Li wakes up in Xingzi's arms and apologizes to him, acknowledging that what happened last night is now in the past. She expresses her uncertainty about the future, reminding Xingzi that he cannot abandon his responsibilities because of her as the only ancient deity. Xingzi chides Shen Li for her coldness, pointing out that she was full of tender emotions just the previous night, and now she is acting like the stern Baikao king. Xingzi also tells Shen Li about the origins of the conflict between the Chimay and the spiritual realm. Initially, the spiritual and immortal realms were evenly matched. The former spiritual lord, Lu Ming, sought to dominate the three realms and discovered a method to create Chimay. Countless Chimay creatures were forged day and night, overwhelming the spiritual tribe, which then urgently sought help from the immortal realm. Xingzi personally went to the spiritual realm to seal Shu Tian Abyss. Later, Fu Sheng's ability to use the stopping water technique was likely because he had once overheard Xingzi teaching some immortal techniques to Ji Yu Chengjin. Learning only a small part that posed no real threat. When discussing the spiritual tribe, Xingzi brings up the story of the current spiritual lord's rise to power. He suspects the spiritual lord might be hiding something from Shen Li, considering he raised her from a young age. Shen Li cuts him off, insisting that no matter what the spiritual lord hid from her, she would never blame him, even entrusting her life to him. Xingzi understands the deep bond between Shen Li and her master and promises to protect her no matter what. Following a snake demon, Fu Sheng finds Shen Li and Xingzi. He arrogantly assumes Shen Li has lost her powers and Xingzi is severely injured, making them easy targets. Unaware that Shen Li's spiritual power has fully returned, she summons a massive fireball in her palm and hurls it at Fu Sheng, who quickly possesses Mo Fang's body to escape. Shen Li cannot bring herself to harm Mo Fang, so Xingzi steps in, confronting Mo Fang. The two rivals face each other, with Mo Fang dismissing Xingzi as unworthy of Shen Li, thinking he arrived too late. He has been fighting battles for years, shedding blood for her cause. Xingzi discovers that Mo Fang's malice is due to demon blood within him, which allows Fu Sheng to exploit his emotions and turn him into a puppet. Xingzi and Shen Li return to the celestial realm together. The realm is still unaware that the Baikao king is alive. Seeing the two arrive, everyone is tense, and the Heavenly Lord accuses the Baikao king of disturbing the natural order. A heavenly general began to say that after Shen Li's accident last time, Xingzi went to the East China Sea alone to freeze the entire sea surface for 10 days, and later because of anger, he set the forest near the East China Sea on fire, which were all against the will of heaven. Xingzi took the initiative to take all the responsibilities, saying that these were all caused by him alone and had nothing to do with Shen Li. The immortals disagreed about this relationship. The immortals knelt and begged Xingzi to sympathize with the suffering of the three realms. Today, there are constant flying stones from the outer sky, and the gods urgently need to quell the chaos. After so much talk, these people in the immortal world are still stubborn. Under the watchful eyes of the public, Xingzi took Shen Li's hand and walked away. He took Shen Li to the outer world. She was a little shaken on the way, but he firmly told her that she should dare to face herself. If she compromised this time, it would be more difficult to be together next time. In the outer world, Xingzi showed Shen Li the formation to fill the gaps in the fairy world. This process is to repair in a painting. Wherever the brush goes, the tiny gaps begin to fill and gradually become intact. Shen Li found that Xingzi was unable to do it this time. At the critical moment, the corners of his mouth began to bleed. Shen Li then protected Xingzi's pen-holding hand and helped him complete the repair plan. It was found that Xingzi began to suffer backlash for offending heaven. Now he was deserted by everyone. This result was not what Shen Li wanted to see. After careful consideration, she decided to leave Xingzi. Their spiritual world has always relied on the blessing of the fairy world. Perhaps letting Xingzi free and returning to the original state would be enough. He disagreed. He had experienced the taste of loss once, and he never wanted to let go again. Seeing that Shen Li was still determined to leave, he immediately set up a barrier in Tianytn and used his heart meridian to protect the barrier. As long as she forcibly broke it, Xingzi would be attacked. Tianytn was constantly falling rocks. So Xingzi gave Farong some magic power to help the poor. Ruya bravely broke into the fairyland to get Shen Li's red feather spear. The red feather spear originally belonged to their Ling clan. So naturally they hoped that Shen Li's things could be returned. After several days, Ruya ran back to the Ling clan panting and reported to Lingzhen that Shen Li was still alive. Lingzhen was overjoyed. Yulin heard that Xianjun was very repulsive to Shen Li and Xingzi, so she secretly told Xianjun the news that Shen Li was trapped in Tianytn. Tianytn was not something that could be entered just by saying so. Xianjun was very scared. At this time, Lingzhen also brought Ruya to the fairyland to ask for people. Ling Zun, Xian Zun, and Yu Lan tried to rescue Shen Li and return to the spirit world, and together they went to find the exit of Tianytn. Yu Lan only vaguely remembered that Xing Ji had brought her here for treatment when she was a child, but she didn't know how to get to Tianytn, so she carefully tried several formations, hoping to find a mechanism. But she couldn't find a way after much effort, so Yu Lan had to take them back. Shen Li searches for a way to break the barrier in the heavenly realm. She notices a painting on the desk, which Xingzi once used to mend the sky's rifts remotely. Shen Li decides to investigate if the painting might hold the key to escaping the barrier. Opening the scroll, she sees a desolate Xingzi dressed in gray, sitting alone at a table, drowning his sorrows in alcohol. Surrounded by broken wine jars, this isn't the Xingzi she knows. Shen Li realizes this is Xingzi from 1,000 years ago. He endured immense loneliness and pain for centuries, guarding the ninth heaven. Next, Shen Li glimpses the spiritual realm from 1,000 years ago. She sees Liu Yu and the leader of the spirit tribe. The leader intends to use the blazing furnace to forge more chimay, seeking endless power. Out of the furnace emerges a man with totems on his face. Evidently the Chimay king created by the spiritual realm. Liu Yu, seeing him in distress, comforts him with her warm touch, giving him the name, Feng Lai. Feng Lai, trusting Liu Yu, is placed under her care by the leader. Shen Li is abruptly pulled back to reality as Xingzi arrives. She asks to be returned to the spiritual realm, but Xingzi refuses, unwilling to lose her again. He has been reflecting on the rules set by the heavenly realm, questioning why the heavenly path is not flawless. Despite being commanded to guard the three realms without feeling, he wonders why he was given emotions, a sensitive heart, and supreme power. Understanding Xingzi's plight after witnessing his past, Shen Li helps him express his frustrations. She seizes the moment to propose breaking the barrier again, but Xingzi changes the subject, offering to cook for her instead. Meanwhile, Fu Rong wanders into a forbidden area and finds Mo Fang lying motionless within a barrier. Recognizing Mo Fang from their past interactions in the spiritual realm, Fu Rong enters the barrier and gives him a healing pill, causing the barrier to dissipate. After Xingzi leaves, Shen Li opens the scroll again, curious about the scenes she has witnessed. She watches more of Liu Yu and the Chimay King, now knowing that Liu Yu is her master's younger sister. When Liu Yu's master first sees Feng Lai, he is shocked and scolds Liu Yu for aiding the enemy by turning a Chimay into a human-like form. Feng Lai retaliates by spitting at the master, behaving like an unruly llama. Liu Yu defends Feng Lai, urging her senior to calm down, explaining that Feng Lai is still a child, having just transformed into human form. As Liu Yu and Feng Lai grow closer, Liu Yu sees Feng Lai not as a Chimay but as a gentle comrade of the spirit tribe. Observing these scenes, Shen Li begins to unravel the mysteries and understand the deeper connections of her past life. A month later, the spirit tribe's leader inquires about Liu Yu's progress in training Feng Lai. Liu Yu lies, claiming Feng Lai is not the Chimay king and is no different from ordinary mortals, unfit for the role. The leader, enraged, reminds her that he has delayed the Chimay creation process for Feng Lai and gives her one more month to turn Feng Lai into a leader of the Chimay army. Liu Yu, with no room for argument, is forcibly reminded of her duty. The Lingzhen, witnessing the leader's obsessive descent into madness, realizes that the spirit realm is in danger and urges Liu Yu to stand with her against further Chimay creation. Liu Yu, naturally gentle and never one to rebel, initially requested to care for Feng Lai to prevent him from becoming a monstrous being. Shen Li, observing the scenes in the scroll, suspects that her master knows she is still alive and is likely trying to find a way to bring her back. That night, Shen Li sees the stars in the outer heavens, which are wish lanterns from the three realms, each containing a wish. Among them, she sees her master's blessings and many from the spirit realm praying for their prince's safe return. Moved, Shen Li calls Xingzi, pleading to be allowed back to the spirit realm. Although she understands Xingzi has a compelling reason for keeping her there, she is desperate to return. However, he disagrees. The Lingzhen confronts Xingzi in the celestial realm. Xingzi explains that keeping Shen Li in the outer heavens is the best option since she possesses the final artifact Fu Sheng desperately seeks, the Fire Seal. The Lingzhen realizes Xingzi has uncovered Shen Li's true identity. In the spirit realm, the leader punishes Lu Yu for downplaying Feng Lai's abilities. Enraged by the attack on Lu Yu, he retaliates, revealing his true nature as the Chimay King. The leader, seeing this, decides to take control of Feng Lai himself, threatening Lu Yu if he resists. To protect Lu Yu, Feng Lai reluctantly follows the leader. The leader attempts to coerce Feng Lai into killing, but Feng Lai, adhering to Lu Yu's teachings, refuses, enduring punishment. Fortunately, Lu Yu rescues him at night. During their escape, Lu Yu and Feng Lai experience a brief period of peace, living like ordinary people. They adopt a stray puppy, which Feng Lai cares for deeply. Feng Lai confronts the concept of death for the first time when the puppy dies. Lu Yu comforts him, explaining that death leads to reunions with loved ones, making it less frightening. However, their peace is short-lived as the spirit tribe leader finds them. Feng Lai, seeing Lu Yu captured, unleashes his full potential, defeating the leader and rescuing the injured Lu Yu. As they return, Lu Yu notices a red glow in the spirit realm's sky, indicating her elder sister's rebellion against their master. The Lingzhen, fed up with the leader's unethical actions, has finally turned against him. Ultimately, Xingzi saves the spirit realm by isolating the remaining Chimay, leaving only a final group to be dealt with. The Lingzhen seeks Lu Yu's help to seal this last threat using Feng Lai. For the future of the spirit realm, Lu Yu agrees, telling Feng Lai that completing this mission will ensure that no one in the spirit realm will suffer as they have. Feng Lai heads to the celestial realm to find Xingzi. Upon their first encounter, Xingzi sees a fiery phoenix surrounding Feng Lai, signifying the power of the Chimay King. Feng Lai's self-sacrifice results in the dispersion of countless Chimay. Furong infuses Mofang with purification energy, finally waking him up. Mofang urgently tells Furong to return to the celestial realm as someone plans to invade Zutianyuan, threatening the spirit realm with catastrophe. Seeing Furong's shock, Mofang insists that Furong end his life to prevent further control by Fu Sheng. Furong narrowly escapes and rushes to inform the celestial emperor. The Lingzhen, upon hearing the news, returns to the spirit realm immediately. Yulan, worried about Xingzi's ability to handle the impending danger, pleads with the ancient gods in the spiritual temple to protect Xingzi. At this moment, the barrier of Tian Weishan opens, allowing Yulan to enter. She finds Shen Li's Qiyu spear and helps Shen Li escape. After Feng Lai's sacrifice, Lu Yu gives birth to a baby girl, Shen Li. Lu Yu embeds her inner core into Shen Li, masking her Chimay essence before entrusting the infant to her elder sister. After this act, Lu Yu passes away. Shen Li, having witnessed her origins through the scroll, understands her destiny and leaves the celestial realm with Yulan. Fu Sheng arrives at the heart of Zutianyuan, releasing numerous Chimay to wreak havoc. The Lingzhen confronts Fu Sheng but is overpowered, resulting in heavy casualties among the spirit realm soldiers. Furong, now more mature from witnessing the suffering and death around him, tends to the wounded tirelessly. Realizing the gravity of the situation, he prepares to enter Zutianyuan to eliminate the threat himself. Shen Li commands her generals to guard the formation in the spirit realm. Learning that the Lingzhen is fighting the Chimay, she rushes to her aid. Furong leads celestial warriors into Zutianyuan. Facing an unexpectedly brutal battlefield, they confront dense clouds of miasma and puppet-like Chimay soldiers in overwhelming numbers. Furong commands an all-out attack on the Chimay. Furong duels Fu Sheng but struggles against him. Yulan intervenes just in time to protect Furong. As Fu Sheng prepares to deliver a fatal blow to Furong, Shen Li arrives with her Qiyu spear, emanating the brilliant red light of a phoenix's rebirth. Her presence shatters the Chimay, and she steps before Furong, demanding to know Fu Sheng's intentions. Fu Sheng reveals that he has been waiting for Shen Li, aiming to reclaim the demon core and break the seal. Shen Li and Fu Sheng engage in a fierce battle, her Qiyu spear sharper than ever after Xingzi's repairs and reforging. The Lingzhen arrives hastily, urging Shen Li to leave and stop wasting time with Fu Sheng. As he releases more Chimay to attack the spirit realm, the Lingzhen uses all his strength to push Shen Li out of Zutianyuan, trying to protect her from falling into a trap. Determined not to leave her master in danger, Shen Li returns to Zutianyuan to confront Fu Sheng. All the Chimay, under Fu Sheng's command, launch a relentless attack on her. Meanwhile, Xingzi works tirelessly in the celestial realm to repair the painting and remotely purify Zutianyuan. Shen Li manages to control Fu Sheng briefly, but his possession of Mofang's body gives her pause, allowing Fu Sheng to exploit her hesitation and strike, pushing her into the formation's core. Fu Sheng eagerly follows her into the core, seeking the inner core. However, Mofang, regaining a moment of control, begs Shen Li to kill him to stop Fu Sheng from using him as a puppet. Tormented by Fu Sheng's desires, Mofang explains that his fate as Lu Ming's child led him here, and his deep feelings prevented him from harming Shen Li. Finally, Mofang takes Shen Li's Qiyu spear and ends his life. Xingzi, unable to purify Zutianyuan from afar, feels his power waning. Frustrated, he questions whether the celestial realm doubts his ability to protect the three realms. But he refuses to resign to fate and rushes to Zutianyuan. In the core, Shen Li encounters Mofang's father, Lu Ming, and sees Feng Lai, who remains imprisoned by Lu Ming for millennia. In a moment of clarity, Feng Lai still thinks of Lu Yu, only to be taunted by Lu Ming that Lu Yu is dead and breaking the seal is the only way to see her again. With no reservations except for his concern for Lu Yu, Feng Lai impulsively breaks the seal and soars into the sky. Xingzi, who once promised to protect Lu Yu, now faces a different reality. He traps the raging Feng Lai in a barrier and enters to face him alone. Sensing the danger outside, Shen Li escapes the core just in time to save Xingzi from Feng Lai's fatal blow. Xingzi is gravely injured. Despite being saved by Shen Li, he remains calm, even joking about being scolded by his future father-in-law. Shen Li realizes that Xingzi has known her true identity for a long time. Even so, he had kept this secret, protected her, and shielded her in Tianweishan, despite being misunderstood by others. He, with a smile, explains that his love for Shen Li is unconditional, regardless of her identity. He reassures her that no matter what her origins are, he will accept and love her wholeheartedly. Feng Lai hovers above, ready to strike at any moment. Shen Li shields Xingji, facing Feng Lai alone. By now, Feng Lai, enraged by Lu Ming, cannot distinguish between good and evil. Xingji protects Shen Li, buying time to purify Feng Lai. All the generals of the immortal realm vow to protect the boundary of Shu Tianyuan. They can't afford to let another disaster occur after Feng Lai's escape. Regaining his senses, Feng Lai first visits the small courtyard where he and Lu Yu lived centuries ago, only to find no trace of her. Ling Zun tells him what happened after he was sealed. Lu Yu left behind a daughter to carry on her bloodline and asked her senior sister to bury her near Shu Tianyuan. Tears fill Feng Lai's eyes because she promised to wait forever for him. Feng Lai asks if Lu Yu loves their daughter. Ling Zun confirms that she loved her daughter more than her own life. Carrying the child of the King of Chimeras was impossible for an ordinary woman. Ling Zun once advised Lu Yu to abort the child, but she refused, leading to her early death. Hearing this, Feng Lai resolutely returns to Shu Tianyuan. Xingji presents Shen Li with a choice: destroy Tianyi, which might implicate both the spiritual and immortal realms, or use the Seal of Fire to permanently seal Shu Tianyuan and Tianyi, sparing the realms but at the cost of Shen Li's life. Without hesitation, she chooses the latter. As the king of Bai Kang, she is always ready to sacrifice herself. Xingji should have anticipated her choice but hesitated, hoping for a better solution. Now, he has no choice, he prepares to die alongside Shen Li. He returns to Tianyi to strengthen the seal on Shu Tianyuan using an array formation. Shen Li feels the pain from the array, her body bound and tortured. But she endures it to allow Xingji to repair the barrier. He expends all his energy to reinforce the seal on Shu Tianyuan. Many ancient gods, seeing this, smile gratefully at Xingji, understanding this is the price of being a chosen one. As he nears the end of his life, Xingji goes to Shu Tianyuan to stay by Shen Li's side. Shen Li opens her eyes slowly, her beloved has come. If not for defying destiny, Xingji might still be the undefeatable ancient god of the immortal realm. But this is their choice, and they accept it willingly. Seeing the girl with Lu Yu's eyes, he knows she is their child. Gently touching Shen Li's head, Feng Lai replaces her, willingly becoming the seal to close Shu Tian Yuan permanently. The three realms finally return to their former peace. Shen Li sees a figure slowly walking towards her in the distance. With tears in her eyes, she realizes that the frail figure is Xing Ji. The invincible warrior he once was is gone, as the heavenly law has punished Xing Ji. Xing Ji weakly lies in Shen Li's arms, smiling and mocking the clear skies now free of any Chimay threat, rendering the existence of ancient gods meaningless. Shen Li sobs uncontrollably, begging him to stay alive. The serene light above Shu Tian Yuan is not what she yearns for most. Despite knowing Xing Ji's time is near, she pleads with him to take her along to find that most desired light. When the heavenly king and the celestial soldiers arrive, they see the golden light of Xing Ji's ascension and kneel in reverence. The heavenly sovereign orders Shen Li to return Xing Ji's remains to commemorate them like previous ancient gods. Shen Li refuses, angrily chastising the heavenly realm for not granting Xing Ji freedom in life, forcing him to sacrifice personal desires for the three realms. And now wanting to take him back even in death. Shen Li in a fury, declares they can take Xing Ji only over her dead body. Fu Rong and Yu Lan plead with the heavenly sovereign, who eventually consents. Shen Li guards Xing Ji beside Shu Tian Yuan day and night until she collapses from exhaustion. When Shen Li regains strength, she brings Xing Ji to the land of ice to preserve his body. Regardless of the weather, Shen Li visits daily, clinging to memories to survive. One day, Shen Li visits Xing Ji, bringing the book Fu Rong gave her to read aloud. Suddenly, she notices Xing Ji is no longer in his chair. Ru Ya rushes in, reporting that people in the streets are talking about a snowman. Shen Li smiles. Amidst a golden field of fragrant flowers, she sees the familiar figure. The man who filled her dreams with joy and longing is truly alive. She steps closer, hearing Xing Ji call her name, feeling like she's still dreaming. Shen Li takes Xing Ji back to the courtyard where they once lived, but this time, Xing Ji is not the sickly man she once disliked. He is now her devoted lover, who cherishes her every day. Xing Ji explains that his awakening is likely due to the remaining divine power of ancient gods praying to the heavens. The heavens, moved by their persistent will, allowed Xing Ji to return to the mortal world. One day, while Shen Li and Xingzi are chatting in their small courtyard, they hear a knock at the door. Shi Niangzi delivers an invitation, asking them to bring a star from Tian Weishan to her wedding. Shen Li is curious, as Shi Niangzi had previously helped her remove Chimay's poison and seemed fiercely independent. Not the type to settle down. She also worries about finding a stone from Tian Weishan. Xingzi, ever pragmatic, suggests they pick any stone since the place is sealed and no one would know the difference. Shi Niangzi has chosen a mortal who became an immortal. Mu Zichen, during a previous encounter with Fu Sheng, Mu Zichen had inadvertently helped her, leading to her falling in love at first sight. She brought him to her residence and cared for him for over 20 years, but he seemed indifferent to her. She pours her heart out to Shen Li and Xingzi, puzzled that her affection hasn't warmed his heart, almost doubting her allure. Xingzi casually remarks that men are often reserved, and Mu Zichen likely harbors feelings for her but is bad at expressing them. Otherwise, he wouldn't agree to the marriage. Uncertain, Shi Niangzi is advised by Xingzi to test Mu Zichen by taking back all the investments she made in him, to see if he would reveal his true feelings. Originally, Xingzi intended for Shi Niangzi to pretend to transfer her affections to someone else to provoke a reaction from Mu Zichen. However, Shen Li opposes the idea of deception and takes on Xingzi's appearance herself, acting intimately around Mu Zichen. Seeing Shi Niangzi neglect him and getting close to another man makes Mu Zichen jealous, though he refuses to admit it. Enraged by the perceived betrayal, Mu Zichen humiliates Shi Niangzi and storms off. Desperate to know Mu Zichen's true feelings, Shi Niangzi promises Xingzi a grand gift if he helps her. Motivated by the promise of a reward, Xingzi and Shen Li escalate their efforts. They stage more intimate moments to provoke Mu Zichen further. When Mu Zichen witnesses this, he gets so angry that he nearly injures Xingzi with an arrow, showing his true feelings. With this confirmed, Xingzi implements the next phase of his plan. He arranges for Bai Kengwang to knock Shi Niangzi unconscious and spread the rumor that she was killed. Upon hearing this, the banished Mu Zichen rushes back, fighting fiercely to rescue Shi Niangzi, and upon finding her safe, he tears up with relief. Shi Niangzi realizes Mu Zichen does care for her, and the wedding proceeds as planned. In gratitude, Shi Niangzi gifts Xingzi an ancient jade pendant, which helps restore his original powers, and his health improves significantly. Xingzi asks Shen Li if she would like such a wedding. Though he previously found weddings troublesome, he now sees the beauty in publicly declaring his love. Shen Li, moved, jokes that they should hurry before her belly grows too big to fit into a wedding dress, revealing she is pregnant. Overwhelmed, Xingzi sheds tears of joy. After all the hardships, they are finally reaping the rewards, making all their struggles worthwhile. The movie concludes here. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Thank you all, and we'll see you in the next film.